Hey there, Wasted Potential 616, back after a long hiatus. I've had numerous problems with my internet connection, so after a lot of fussing and faffing around, I decided to get a new one. So hopefully my videos will be a bit more regular, and yeah, there you go. Although that said, the reason why it's all dark around here, well, something begins to work, like my internet, after fucking ages, and then tonight all the lights in my house go, but luckily TV and computer's still working, so that's all good. Anyway, okay, as I'm back, I thought I'd talk about one of the big ones, SEIGE, issue 3. Right, okay, now, yeah, good issue, and I've enjoyed this miniseries as a whole. Now, this is the crossover to end all crossovers. Let me just start by Oliver Capel. Artwork, beautiful, brilliant, really strong artwork, not just in the visuals themselves, but the way they're organised, you know, really nicely constructed, the composition, the page layout, really good stuff. Nice little splash page there, see that, and stuff like that. And Bendis is doing good writing in this. He's not overdoing the whole talking head things, which he's quite guilty of in lots of other stuff. And there's a lot going on. My main problem with this is it's kind of by the numbers, you know. Captain America. I'm going to review this also with the idea that you've read this before, so spoiler alert on. I'm just going to go through it. So yeah, there's a nice little bit where it has the president and his little group of people sort of discussing what's going on, and that's actually something you don't really see in comics that much when there's a big event going on, because you would see the government, you know, concerned about it. So that was a nice little touch, although that was progressed further by the last few pages where, you know, in these things, you know, Bendis just loved doing this, just pages of prose, and it's Myra Hill sort of talking, sending messages to the government, which it wasn't really necessary, and it took up pages, which, you know, could have been something else, but you know, Bendis is quite guilty of this, is to be expected, and you know, but apart from that, he's still doing a very good job on this title. But as I say, it's by the numbers, you know, the Captain America's back with these Avengers, they're fighting the bad guys, and there's a nice little fight between Thor and the Sentry, which isn't actually that exciting. It's quite good, but because as a reader, if you've read the previous issue, you know that the Sentry ripped Ares in half. It adds a sense of danger and a sense of excitement about, you know, the Sentry fighting Thor. But Norman Osborn's defeated pretty much in this. And my problem with it, we've had this whole Dark Reign thing, and it just kind of seems, this whole thing, that Norman Osborn's just, it's fallen apart far too easy for him. He's just gone off, fought this battle against the, you know, the wishes of the president, so automatically he's lost the support of the government, and he's got his little crew there, and he's getting beaten up, so he's, you know, he's lost that aspect. He's brought like a load of supervillains for support, which will probably even further damage his reputation. And then when he is finally defeated, he's shown to be sort of turning into a sort of, you know, slightly Green Goblin-y, which this could be my Spider-Man history, not really up to date, but I didn't think that was an aspect of the Goblin formula, you know. Maybe in the Ultimate Universe, but not in the 616 universe. But I could be wrong. But it was still quite a cool moment, him sort of going, you know, what have you done, blah, blah, blah. Now, up until that moment, well, no, not up until that moment, Up until the moment he actually does get defeated, it is just sort of by the numbers. The good guys come along, beat the bad guys, blah blah blah. And it's when Norman Osborn says to the Sentry, just bring it down, we can't lose like this. That's when this starts to get interesting. And the Sentry, who's Sentry Void, he's just still getting all fucked up. It looks like he's gonna beat Thor. You know, looking. I mean, you can't. Can you see that there? No, you can't. Okay, sorry. But he's looking really evil, and he just basically goes and destroys Asgard, and it's beginning to fall down. You've got a nice splash page there of it falling down. Nice visual there. And then this is where it starts getting interesting, because Norman Osborn's defeating, but I'm not sure how much of this is true, but he starts to going, look, I was trying to save you, blah blah blah, the Sentry's going to kill you, you know, what have you done, blah blah blah. And then it ends with this kind of, the Sentry is kind of the, Void Sentry, this evil thing, and it looks like he's going to be the main villain protagonist of this series, the main villain. So okay, it's been by the numbers kind of action fighting stuff here, little bit of twists and turns, and with this sort of revelation, although it was kind of predictable that it was going to come to this, the Sentry is the big bad. This whole series now is hedging on the last issue. Issue 1 was a bit boring. Issue 2 was good, had some shocks, it was getting there. This was a bit kind of by the numbers. Still some cool little character moments, you know, Captain America, Spider-Man. It was great seeing Iron Man come back as well. Good stuff. But it was just, as I say, very straightforward. But then Norman Osborn saying, oh, you know, the Sentry, I was trying to save you, he's going to kill us all. So let's see what that means exactly. Was this a motivation behind what Norman Osborn was doing? And also, in the next issue, we'll see what Loki's up to. So, now while I did enjoy this was entertaining, there's been so much build up and hype on this that there's a lot of expectations with this. This cannot just be mediocre, and it's kind of just above mediocre. It's got some really cool moments. The series, you know, the first issue, as I say, second issue, yeah, this is kind of, so it all rides on the fourth issue. Now, should I say pick this up? Well, I've kind of done this review with the assumption that you've already picked this up. So, you know, if you haven't, yeah, pick it up. You know, this is a big deal in Marvel. And it is entertaining, but as I say, so much is riding on this, you know. There's been such a big build up. So, Bendis, please give us some surprises for the last issue, you know. There's some good pieces in place here. There's the potential for something really special. Please deliver. And yeah, the artwork's great. Anyway, I'll leave it at that for the moment. I do have a few more comic book reviews to do, but yeah, I'll leave it at that. Look after yourselves, guys. Waste the Potential 616. Signing out. Bye.